because our second panel discussion is a big one: AI creativity and the future of design practice.
We are joined by Vijay Raj N, Ben Thomas, Udaykumar, and Govind Janardhan.
It's a privilege for us to have this panel moderated by Dr. Harikrishnan D, Assistant Professor in the Department of Visual Media and Communication at Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham, Kochi campus. With over 2 decades of experience in the field of animation, 3D design, and motion graphics, Dr. Harikrishnan brings together technical mastery and creative vision in a truly inspiring way. His journey from the media industry to academia reflects his passion for nurturing young minds and integrating technology with art. A PhD holder in visual media and communication, he continues to explore emerging areas like artificial intelligence in art, constantly pushing the boundaries of media education. I welcome you, sir.
Warm good afternoon to all of you. Let me welcome you all, professionals from the creative domain, to this venue. I'll begin with a story, my own experience. Approximately 9 years before, I received an illustration of myself from a student on my birthday. He tried to create a caricature of me, and he was almost successful in portraying my personality in that. And while presenting it, he said he took nearly 2 weeks to create that portrait. Last month, usually nowadays there is a trend in social media, people creating their own caricatures, asking AI engines to create whatever information they have about me, and I also tried that. And the generation took nearly less than 1 minute, I think. And it had all the information visually presenting myself, Dr. Harikrishnan, with all the visual elements, including my motorbike, my car, and even my daughter and wife. So the process, the 2 weeks to 1 minute, the creative visualization time, it was an enormous change, I think. So I hope we will discuss the change in the creative process, the workflow. Let us listen to the experts. Begin with you, sir.
Okay, so I think the AI in this field is like really pushing forward every designers or every creative persons. Because when I'm working at the starting time, I was doing the proper manipulation or the proper imaging kind of thing by doing like weeks. Now I am doing like posters more than 30 or 35 or 45 posters per day. That whole level of output is like really good nowadays. But I'm not just doing the numbers only. I'm just making the quality of the posters much better when the AI just gets into the field. So I think the AI is like really pushing the limits of designers and the creativity of each and every designer who are in this field. For me, AI is like a friend of mine. For me, AI is like a co-worker of mine that makes my work much better and much faster with proper quality. That's what makes a proper like introduction to AI rather than my introduction. Okay, so AI is like a co-worker, so I will be introducing AI before anyone else. So that's what makes me earn something in every day. So it's like really a best friend of mine. So that's something that came up to my mind.
Yeah, from my perspective, even sir said he created this trending caricature through ChatGPT, right? So there is a funny incident happened in my family. I also created the same profile picture, uploaded in Facebook. Seeing this, my wife, what she did is she uploaded a family picture. So we have 3 daughters. So she uploaded a group picture, AI generated with 4 kids. So I put it in a troll way in my Instagram profile. AI cheated.
Before we are thinking the technology called AI, let's think about the technology from the 30,000 feet. Like every decade or every 20 years, like there is a new technology which is coming in. So 100 years ago, like we had horses, now we have cars. So things has to move faster. So otherwise, things would be bored for the humans, right? So that is where the invention is coming up. So whenever the humans are being, very much bored. So currently we have AI. So AI is disrupting a lot of things. And this is where, we are talking about it. 2 points I need to put over here. One is that, the technology has been thoroughly democratized. Not only the technology, the design as well. So again, I'm taking your point, sir. So generating images through the AI, right? So end of the day, to who we are generating, right? It is for someone or for us. So from the output, are we getting satisfied with the, with the output or not? So this is the question that we need to put in. Even I have done the same, like, I have to meet one, high networking person, like, HNI person in Pondicherry. All of a sudden, I want to gift him something. What would I do? I know that this fellow likes, pastel oil painting. I can't reach out anyone to give it in a daytime. So what I did was, I made the right prompt in such way along with this image, and this fellow likes line also. I created this image along with the line. I gave it for the pastel printing. I gave it to him on the other day. He was surprised. That entire image, right? The particular canvas is at his house now. He asked me for the soft copy of it, and he's having that as a profile picture. And he has a goal of reaching 100 crore by end of this year. So is that until I reach the 100 crore, I'll be keeping this as as my profile picture. It is that we are doing design or some output if that enables the humans to the next level to push or not. This is my thing. So if that enables, use it. If that doesn't enable, at least try to have some knowledge about it, even though you are not using it.
Hi everybody. I know how tough it is after lunch sitting here. So to wake you up, I have some visual slides which I prepared that covers the industry aspect of AI and creativity, and also some thought-provoking questions. I hope that could be a takeaway for you. So I'll give you a background context about myself. Maybe if it inspires you. So I'm coming, basically my native was in Kannur. I know everybody know Kannur. And before, like in my school days, it was like the circumstance was that I'm pretty sure everybody would have been faced this. Other than doctor and engineer, there is nothing there, in my parents' perspective. But I was totally different. I was very showing enthusiasm in creative aspects, to an extent that I still remember when I look at you during my academic days. Even during exam time, like behind the question paper also, I keep scribbling something. So that was a kind of time. And then I did bachelor's in visual arts. And after that, that's where, design more and more came into inspiration. And after that, I studied in IIT Bombay, where I did my master's in design. And it took me to altogether a different level, where I was working with Samsung for several years. And then I became the founding member of Oppo design team in India after China. And had several experience around the industries, working in MNCs as well as Indian startups. And currently I'm working in NxtQuantum Shift Technologies, where, yeah. So it's a NxtQuantum Shift Technologies a company name, where we also come up with the smartphones, which is made in India, AI plus smartphone. So I'll just start with a question. So pretty sure sometime back also, even till now, even as a student also, you will be having this query in your head, back in your head somewhere. If AI can create, then what is a designer's job now? Okay, so when I started my career, yeah. So I started, like, it was creativity means it's more of like expertise in tools, okay, and how well you create, you craft. So that was a time when I, like, almost nearing a decade back. And now, with AI, everything is like in seconds you can generate, including prototypes, codes, versatile images, and everything, okay? So that's the difference. And so now the real question is, it's not whether AI can create, it's about what kind of creativity skills still needs humans. So I'm just quickly to brush through, I am dividing it into 3 eras, like craft-driven design, which is more of designing in pixels. There was a time where experience-driven design, where designing journeys was a very much of trending, where industry was focusing on. And the current and future, which is more of intelligence-driven design, how designing, how to think in systems. So it was something like this, where we started with craft-driven design, where it's more of like tools, expertise in tools, mastery in using even pixel crafting and all those things. And we literally, the designers had directly shaped every pixel. And when it comes to the next era, that is experience-driven design, it's more of capturing the emotional journey of the users. I'm sure UX design, you would have gone through this terminology. And also, it includes starting of this multiple devices, connected devices. So the design shifted from the screens to the experience over time. And now and hereafter, it's more about intelligence-driven design, where it's more of like context-based and customized approach and compliant and flexible, because it's very important when it comes to AI, and embedded kind of scenarios, user-friendly, which is, AI should not overpower the user behavior. It has to be coexisting together. And designers, in fact, actually now shapes how the systems think and act. That's the kind of coexisting that happens between the designers as well as with the AI. So what's happening in the industry sometime back was a kind of like a linear thing, pretty much like a formula, like, you do research. When we ask a designer, like, how do you do, what's the thought process? It's basically like you do research, you sketch, you design, and then review and ship the product. But now, it's like a continuous co-creation that happens, which is like ideation, iteration, where every phases you will be coexisting with the AI. You will produce something out of it, even when ideation time, even when iteration time, even after the post-launch optimization as well. So here, the AI did not replace the designers. So basically, it rewired the workflows, which is more important aspect to know. And yeah, as we know, the AI generates, what we see is what's happening right now in boon industry. It produces versatile kind of images. It produces within seconds prototypes. And what does designers define here? Designers define the context and the success criteria and what kind of constraints. That's what they shape. So the quality of output that now depends is not much of previous era, like, what I have mentioned is on skill, but it's more on clarity of intent, like what you really wanted to do with the AI and how it's going to shape your solution. So some examples you must have seen, like app suggestions based on your behavior and based on time, the power, battery, modes are, changes, adapts to your lifestyle, and even notification priority habits also changes. So what is the interface you see tomorrow is actually shaped by your behavior, humans' behavior today. So that's where user experience design comes in. Just a quick example what we see in a current days and how you can relate this. For example, in Spotify, if you open, or in Netflix as well, if you open any of your friends' account, you can see that the same product looks different from to people by design, because basically it adapts to your behavior. your taste, your preference of content that you consume. And same goes with smartphones, because I am from a smartphone industry. Even you know, intelligence is such a way that you can even, the gadgets can understand that you have fallen asleep, because there are multiple sensors. So your system also understands that. It's so very well coexists to the lifestyle and adaptiveness. So see, these are some examples where the designer is no longer finished at the launch. Like, you know, I'm done with the design, shipped, that's it. It actually evolves in real time. So when we look at what is valued now, it's more about systems thinking. And since I am coming from a smartphone background, I'm giving you a tailored experience from that. So, like for example, for me, it's a smartphone ecosystem. So it's like mobile manufacturer, operating system, there are apps, there are multiple aspects that hovers around a smartphone ecosystem. So it's very important for a designer to think in that macro level, rather than just solving one-two problem. So that's what it meant by systems thinking, and especially tailoring user behavior is something very important, and designing how decisions are made with AI into it. So from tool expertise to the systems thinking. So there are some questions like, again, for a thought-provoking perspective, like who is the author in AI-generated design? Like if AI generates an output, then who owns an idea? If AI becomes a wrong decision, then who's responsible? If bias exists, then where did it come from? So in AI-driven systems, designers don't just create outcomes, they define the boundaries of the behavior. So designing trust is actually the new craft when AI comes into a design domain. So now in the industry, designers also, you know, shapes what AI learns, what it prioritizes, and also what it should never do. So when it comes to, again, back to my domain, smartphones, there is something called operating system. Okay, so it's very important for us to have this privacy first thinking and human override. Like when we say about AI can't keep go on doing activities and creating, where, you know, human is just witnessing. It cannot happen like that, and that's not a good user experience. So it needs to know when to be silent and when to be non-intrusive in terms of user experience. So which is, end of the day, is like good AI design knows what to act and when to stay invisible. So future trend, what's coming next and how designers must evolve. So I've represented in a very abstract way, because what you're going to see maybe in future is there might not be UI to interact. There might be voice and gestures, more of ambient, and the such sort of contextual systems at every instance, whether you are indoor, outdoor, or what you are doing, every aspect. So it will get tailored intelligence. And designers as decision architects would design the logic, design the trade-offs, and especially when it comes to the ethics. So there's going to be a coexist for sure. And this is where I don't feel, you know, we say that AI is going to take up my job. I don't think so. It's more going to be a coexist kind of scenario. And again, back coming to smartphone, like it's more of influencing the foundational layers and not just applications, what you have in your phone. It's more about ecosystems, the device is connected. That sort of. So the new role of designer is, in the age of AI, the designers are no longer creators of form, which was there some time back. They actually shape the intelligence, trust, and human outcomes. Before closing, I'll leave you with a thought. So, are you just designing interface, or are you designing the future of decision making? Thank you.
Thank you, Govindji. Thank you for illustrating how the design, technology, and larger scale product innovation is evolving at a systems level. And connecting with the last part, UA, I'll come to Sri Udaykumar. UX design begins with understanding people and behavior, right? Psychology, etc. And in that context, where do you see AI fitting into the UX design process?
So you mentioned about UX is about psychology and people.
Understanding.
So yeah, I'm just reframing it. See, when it comes to the people or the end user, first of all, AI can't understand the human emotion. AI can't understand even the social embarrassment or the awkwardness the people feel. If you go and ask AI about certain research topics which is available online, it can give you the summary. But if you would like to take any decision on the summary and want to create a workflow without understanding or have a deep dive into your persona or the group, you will eventually fail. But I'll tell you where AI actually helps. See, when it to the product context, right? We will be having certain product metrics or the workflow. So AI can literally help us in generating ideas. Having said that, those ideas must be validated by the UX designer. If, if we take those ideas and say for an example, AI is giving 100 of ideas. Even I can ask them, pick me some top 3 ideas, right? AI can give you top 3 ideas, but the thing is that how would you evaluate? How would you know that it is perfectly fitting for the audience? So that is where you must be in place. In AI, they always say in the hidden layer that there is a human loop. If you go and read any of the AI articles, they always see and tell one thing is that human loop. So you always need to be in the loop to understand and validate whether those generations given by the AI is right or wrong. So we can utilize them in the workflow level, or we can utilize them in order to generate ideas. But when it comes to the entire holistic level of completing the task end to end, right? You can't do it with the AI, at least at the moment, because we are into the Gen AI era. By mid of 2027, we will be having ASI. Sorry, AGI is coming in. After 28 or 2020, we will be having ASI, which would think more like a human. We are not just pitching into that as we wouldn't know what to do. But the AGI era has already been started with Clawbot and all. So as he said, think in systems, think of how to create logics rather than thinking about how to design something, because AI is there to take care of it. You have to validate whether it is right or not. So what is the role of a designer in that place? It's nothing but a role of a strategist. So you have to orchestrate the system. You are not going to design it anymore. You will be choosing and orchestrate the system. That's all.
And next to Sri Ben Thomas. So you work extensively in gaming, animation, and immersive technologies. I would like to listen to your views on how AI has influenced that workflow.
Yeah. Before I talk about this game production, I started my career as a traditional 2D animator, which I don't know how many of you know traditional 2D animation, where we have a light box. We just Google it, you can understand the device. It's not a device, it's a modern ancient equipment. So you have a bulb, you have a glass on that, and you need to draw it out and trace it. So the traditional animation, in the beginning, I started as a 2D animator. So It was very hectic work. Now, when I think from that perspective, it is very hectic work to create the concepts. We need to sketch it with the pencil, paper. We need to get idea generated, and you cannot once if some mistake happen, you need to erase it, redo it. Everything it's massive effort, and it takes. Maybe long days, or a week's process to create some of the concept. Um, Similarly, after that traditional animation, then we evolved to the 3D animation process, where it was more easy. Like we apply the animation principles which we learned through the software, which were much more easier than the previous traditional animation. Now, when you come back in 2026, now it's AI. It is easy. I can say the process made us very easy, like concept creations, character sketches, ideation. But everything cannot be depend on AI without we don't have a creativity. Okay, if you have some creativity in our mind, okay, my character looks something like this. You need to write the prompt properly, right? So that visualization, if you have it, then write the prompt, get it the generated, so that the process is becoming very easy for us.
Thank you, sir. Now, for Sri Vijay Raj, I've been following your works in LinkedIn.
Okay, that's nice to hear that people are noticing my work.
Okay, and as I saw, your works were rooted mostly in cultural aspects. You have a very strong cultural base.
Yeah.
And how do you think, how do you feel AI is helping you focusing on that domain?
Okay, so basically, when I started my work, the AI was really, at the time when the AI started, it was really bad. When I started to give like ഒരു കേരള ആയ ഒരു മനുഷ്യന് ഒരു മുണ്ട് ഷർട്ട് ഇട്ട് തരാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മുണ്ട് ഷർട്ടിന്റെ മേളിൽ ഉടുക്കും. അതാണ് AI ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് ആദ്യം ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്ന കാലത്ത് മൊത്തം. Then I just did the proper research to achieve the exact kind of cultural need that we need. അങ്ങനെ റിസർച്ച് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ the results became much clearer. So that the best prompt give me best results. So the AI വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സും എൻ്റെ ഐഡിയാസും the things that which I had in my mind മച്ച് ബെറ്ററിൽ ആൾക്കാരെ കാണിക്കാൻ പറ്റി. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിലുള്ള ചെറിയ ഇഷ്യൂസ് ആണെങ്കിലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഒരു പ്രോപ്പർലി ആൾക്കാരുടെ ശ്രദ്ധ കിട്ടേണ്ട കാര്യം AI വന്നപ്പോൾ ഈസിലി ക്യാൻ ബി ഡൺ വിത്തൗട്ട് സ്പെൻഡിങ് സോ മച്ച് ഓഫ് ടൈം. അതെനിക്ക് മാക്സിമലൈസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റി. അതേപോലെ തന്നെ മച്ച് വൈഡർ ഓഡിയൻസിലേക്ക് AI വന്നപ്പോൾ ഒരു കൾച്ചറിനെ പറ്റി എത്തിച്ചു കൊടുക്കാനായിട്ട് പറ്റി. കേരള, ലൈക്ക് ദ കൾച്ചർ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ലിവ്ഡ് ഇൻ ലൈക്ക് എ ട്രഡീഷണൽ കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് വില്ലേജ്. It's near Kodanad. So I think the culture like Teyyam or small kind of things which we had in Kannur were also there. So these kinds of culture really makes me wonder the colors and the things like a proper designer should be viewing from any angle. ഈ സാധനം എല്ലാം AI ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റി കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ I just want to be replicating the every bit of detail which already on the Teyyam. So I should be replicating it exactly. That was the main goal which I had in my mind when the AI came up. But the initial stage was really struggling. But now it's like more easy to do a concept. I do mostly around 50 or 60 concepts per day. And I just do a rough sketches. But in the earlier period, I drew everything, every storyboard by my hand. But now it's much better to really have the concepts come into life. So the AI keeps me much easier to do the concepts, because if this is going to be working out, the color theory is going to be working out. ഇതെല്ലാം നോക്കാൻ എനിക്ക് AI വന്ന് ഭയങ്കര ഈസിലി പറ്റി. എനിക്ക് ആൾക്കാരിലേക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടി കണക്റ്റഡ് ആയിട്ട് എത്താനായിട്ടൂടെ പറ്റി AI വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ. ദാറ്റ് വാട്ട്സ് മേക്സ് മീ എ മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ ഡിസൈനർ എന്ന് ഞാൻ കരുതുന്നത് ഈസ് ദാറ്റ് ടു ലിവ് വിത്ത് AI, ടു നോ മോർ അബൌട്ട് AI ആൻഡ് ജസ്റ്റ് implement whatever we can from AI, just the good sides. I know the bad effects of AI, but I am just using the good sides of AI to make it much better. Each tool has its own limitation, even AI, but I am just choosing the good side, like the creative side, and it's giving me much better results when I compare my earlier stage of work. So AI is like a best buddy of mine. ഒരു കൂട്ടുകാരൻ.
Like Sri Udaykumar was previously saying, democratization of artistic expression. That's it. Thank you, sir. And what what is your opinion on differentiating? How will you differentiate between a strong designer and somebody who is just using AI?
Can I say? Okay. Because ഇപ്പോൾ എ വന്ന ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ ആണ്. ലൈക്ക് ദർ ആർ മെനി ടൂൾസ്. ഐ യൂസ് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി അറൌണ്ട് 100+ ടൂൾസ് in my company, which I'm working at Web Bangraphs. So the tools are there in the whole internet, but people are not really knowing that whichever the tool is used in every work. അതായത് ഒരു പ്രിന്റ് മീഡിയ, if there is someone who is going to be working on a print media, they can't be using ChatGPT to generate image to do an outdoor hoarding or outdoor presentation. So people should be much knowing about what to use and where to use, because AI അത്രേ ഉണ്ട്. ഇത് ഏത് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ചൂസ് ചെയ്യണം, വാട്ട് പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോം ഷുഡ് വി ചൂസ് ടു മേക്ക് ദ ഔട്ട്കം മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ എന്നുള്ളൊരു കൺഫ്യൂഷനാണ് മോസ്റ്റ്ലി ആൾക്കാർക്കുള്ളത്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ത്രെഡ്സ് ആയി വരുന്ന കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ട്, ബെസ്റ്റായിട്ട് വരുന്ന കുറേ കാര്യങ്ങളുണ്ട്. ബട്ട് ഐ ചൂസ് ദ ഗുഡ് സൈഡ് ഓൺലി ബിക്കോസ് എനിക്ക് ആ ഗുഡ് സൈഡിൽ നിന്ന് കുറേ നല്ല നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റി. സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് പീപ്പിൾ ഷുഡ് ബി മച്ച് ലൈക്ക് ഡൂയിങ് റിസർച്ച് ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് എവർ ദ നീഡ്, അതെന്താന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ട് അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള എഐസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ ആണ് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. പിന്നെ എ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ലൈഫിൽ നോട്ട് ജസ്റ്റ് ടു ക്രിയേറ്റ് ലൈക്ക് എ കാരിക്കേച്ചർ ഓർ യുവർ പേഴ്സണൽ ഫോട്ടോസ് ഓർ ഫോട്ടോഷൂട്ട്സ് ഓർ നത്തിങ് ലൈക്ക് ദാറ്റ്. യു ഹാവ് ടു ബി ലൈക്ക് യൂസിങ് എ ടു ഡു സം റിയലി ഗുഡ് തിങ്സ് വിച്ച് ആർ മാറ്ററിങ് ഇൻ ദ സൊസൈറ്റി. ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് കീപ്സ് മീ awake. Oh, I am just getting up from my bed and thinking that I should do a concept like today. I do like every day I post something. Every day I do something to showcase my work. Not but only my work. I'm doing these concepts because concepts gets to people much better than doing like a poster or anything. ഞാൻ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ് ആണ് കൂടുതൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അത് ആൾക്കാരിലേക്ക് നല്ല രീതിയിൽ ഷോക്കേസ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്ന ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ടൂളാണ്. കുറേ ടൂൾസ് അറിഞ്ഞത് കൊണ്ട് വി ആർ നോട്ട് ഗെറ്റിംഗ് സംവെയർ. ജസ്റ്റ് പ്രോപ്പർലി അത് എവിടെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളൊരു കാര്യത്തിലാണ് ഞാൻ എയുടെ ആ ഒരു തിൻ ലൈൻ, ആ എവിടെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ളൊരു തിൻ ലൈൻ, ദാറ്റ്സ് സംതിങ് ദാറ്റ്സ് റിയലി മാറ്റേഴ്സ്. സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് വി ഷുഡ് ബി നോയിങ് വിച്ച് ടൂൾ ടു യൂസ്, വാട്ട് ടു യൂസ് അറ്റ് എ പെർഫെക്റ്റ് സിറ്റുവേഷൻ. സോ ദാറ്റ് വാട്ട് മാറ്റേഴ്സ്.
Thank you. And to you, Ben, sir.
Can you repeat that question again? Sorry, lost a moment.
Okay, how will you differentiate between a proper artist and somebody just using AI?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, so AI is just a tool, okay, to help or to add flavors to our creativity. So initial idea definitely should come from our mind. That's what I said. You cannot depend everything on AI to create. So see, being a designer, you should have a good observation, good what you call the creative part, the content creation. If you know how to portray the particular scenario or the concept in such a way, you can get good concept, but definitely you should have that creative mind to get the support from the AI.
Sir, when it comes to the UX design, it is pretty easy that people would like to use AI in order to get the particular UI output. If you go to any of the UI tools like Lovable, Make, even Claude, you are able to identify it. It follows similar pattern across. More than that, I can want to reframe it. We can distinguish between two different person. One, the designer who yielded to AI, and the other person is like a designer who made AI to yield. So the person who made AI to yield are nothing but they create AI agents or agentic AI, and they have trained the model in such way that the output must come in this tone. So we follow certain frameworks like RT-PCR model in order to train the LLMs. So basically, whatever we use are nothing but the free tools, right? When you pay and when you get those tools, you put them into your own tool or software. You can train it in such way that exactly how you design. It is able to give the output. But the question is that how many of them are ready to invest such amount? Those are all very few people, and those are all smart people. I would say that still they are able to get that job done with the same quality they provide in no time. But people who are all using it more like without understanding the prompting technique, just I would like to create an application for a food delivery app and all, these people will be get caught easily.
Now, specifically to Sri Ben, your workflow mostly involves collaboration, especially in 3D. And so how do you think this AI has affected collaborative work? Has it improved or?
I cannot say that it's totally affected. It's made lots of difference within the team members, especially when we are working on project deliverables. It's a teamwork, right? So one person create the concept, one person create the animation. So storyboard, in my team, I have storyboard artists, animators, digital painters, designers, the print designers. So when it comes to and these people have some people have, due to the communication gaps and all, they sometimes they are not able to make the proper idea. So yeah, so that's where we art directors get involved. So we work in a virtual way as well. Like, so some of my team members are in Bangalore. So maybe to sketch something and show, okay, this is something, should I need it. Maybe I will suddenly go with a paper, pencil, or in Photoshop, I'll just do a scribble sketch and show it them. Okay, this is the thing which I want to make it out. But using this AI, little much more help for my daily tasks within the team members to help them in the ideating the process.
Okay, what I had in mind was like, if I was planning to do a visual production, previously I required a group of friends, maybe doing personal work, including musicians. Now, one professional or one creative person is capable of
Doing everything.
doing the entire thing by his own.
Yeah, that multi skills also we started applying it, and in my organization, that is EY, it's an audit firm basically, and we have certain limitations to apply all the AI tools in the organization due to the risk management and the independence compliance and all. So we are using only the AI tools which is partner to EY, that is Copilot or this what do you call that, Adobe Firefly, etc. We are not using the Sora, ChatGPT extensively. So there are some limitations within organization to organization, but when it comes to a personal life, like people are experiencing and exploring the AI tools to create the video end to end.
Thank you, sir. And the question actually is an input for my students. If a creative students, if all these students are entering the creative industry right now, what are the skills they should have or they should aim to develop? Yes.
Okay, first one, good communication, observance. Observation is must. Now, even when I saw that exhibition, I can see a variety of good works. Okay, when I look back my work 20 years behind, it's very far better. I can say that. So I was thinking that people at 21 years, they have this much creativity, where I am just scribbling things, taking a paper, putting circle, So like that. So uh, uh, communication is the one thing. The observe things. Even if you see a design, poster, visual, observe the color. Okay, why? And think why this color apply there. Okay, so what is the color pattern, composition, layout. So everything you can understand from a design and any other visual media.
So my perspective is that everybody who is studying here, just try to showcase your works into the social media. That's something that I want to really say. If you are doing something, when you're studying visual design, I also study visual design from NID. So if you are just doing the visual design or doing this course, just try to showcase all your works. And the skill sets that a designer should be having is not like learning 100 tools. That's not what I believe. Because I knew a lot of tools when I was starting, but I was not a really good designer at that time. But after which I realized that each tool has a purpose and I should do that specific purpose. So when I started to believe that every tool's use case are different, that what made my work much better, because I was doing the traditional way. I was doing like what I had been tutored by my mentors, and it was like little bit like really a lag process or time consuming process. But when I tried to use the softwares which was much easier, the whole structure just got better. When your mentors, like the students, if you're sitting here, like your teachers or faculties will be teaching you like a way to approach an idea or like a concept. You have to make like a different workflow or try to find a new kind of workflow inside that. So you have like a design freedom inside every work. You don't have to be in like mathematics. There was a tutor for me. സാറ് പറയും എപ്പോഴും പഠിപ്പിച്ച രീതി ചെയ്യരുത്, നിനക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള രീതി ചെയ്ത ഉത്തരം കിട്ടിയാൽ മതി. ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ എൻഡ് റിസൾട്ട്. റിസൾട്ട് കിട്ടിയാൽ മതി, അതാണ് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ. ലൈക്ക് ഫോട്ടോഷോപ്പിലും നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ദർ ഈസ് ലൈക്ക് സിമ്പിളായിട്ട് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഫോട്ടോഷോപ്പിൽ ഒരു ഒബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെ കോപ്പി എടുക്കാനായിട്ട് കൺട്രോൾ സി ഞെക്കി കൺട്രോൾ വി ഞെക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കൺട്രോൾ ജെ ഞെക്കി ഡ്യൂപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കൺട്രോൾ എക്സ് ഞെക്കി കട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ട് പേസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാം. ദർ ആർ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ വേസ്. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു സാധനം ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ദർ ഈസ് നോട്ട് ലൈക്ക് എ ഡെഫിനിറ്റ് വർക്ക് ഫ്ലോ. ജസ്റ്റ് ട്രൈ ടു മേക്ക് യുവർ ഓൺ വർക്ക് ഫ്ലോ വിച്ച് ഈസ് വർക്കിംഗ് ഫോർ യു. ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് റിയലി മാറ്റേഴ്സ്. ദാറ്റ് വാട്ട് റിയലി മാറ്റേഴ്സ് വെൻ ഐ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് മൈ ഡിസൈൻ. ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന വഴികളെല്ലാം ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ ഹോൾ പ്രോസസ്, ദ വർക്ക് ഫ്ലോ ആർ കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി ഡിസൈൻ ബൈ മീ. Like the whole structure is designed by me, the softwares, the enhancements, the copy, the caption is everything is designed by me. So try to find your comforts, but the industry is not like really നിങ്ങളുടെ style of work ചിലപ്പോൾ അവിടെ apply ആവണമെന്നില്ല. Don't stop believing that your work is really bad or something. Just try to think that you have like a personal portfolio. Just post your work. The industry just want the ക്ലയൻറ്റിന് ആവശ്യമുള്ള യൂസ് കേസിൽ എന്താ ആവശ്യമുള്ളത് അതാണ് വേണ്ടത്. ബിക്കോസ് വി ആർ നോട്ട് ഗോൺ ബി പുട്ടിങ് ദ ഗോൾഡൻ റേഷ്യോ ഇൻ എവറിത്തിങ്. എൻ്റെ ട്യൂട്ടർ എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞ കാര്യമാണ്, ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഗോൾഡൻ റേഷ്യോ കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം നോക്കിയാൽ ലോഗോ ചെയ്ത്. വെൻ ഐ വെൻറ്റ് ഇൻ ടു മൈ ഏജൻസി ലൈഫ്, ഐ സ്റ്റാർട്ടഡ് ഡൂയിങ് ദ ലോഗോ. ദ ഗോൾഡൻ റേഷ്യോ വാസ് റിയലി എ മിത്ത് ഫോർ മീ ബിക്കോസ് ഐ ഡിഡ് എ ലോഗോ ലൈക്ക് 50 ലോഗോസ് ഞാൻ ഗോൾഡൻ റേഷ്യോ വെച്ച് ചെയ്തു. But client didn't approve any one of them. Then I tried to do it like a rough sketch and the client approved them. So the thing that really matters is the kind of mentality that, or the out of the box kind of thought process, or the clientന് എന്താ വേണ്ടേ അതാണ് ഡെലിവറി ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്. അല്ലാതെ എനിക്ക് കറുപ്പ് കളർ ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമാണ്, but I can't design posters in black because some people think that black is a bad color. So some people think that it is not auspicious. സോ അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറച്ചൊരു കാര്യമുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ എല്ലാ പോർട്ട്ഫോളിയോ ബ്ലാക്കിലാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. മൈ സീനിയേഴ്സ് ഈവൻ മെയ്ഡ് മീ തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് യു ഗോണ ബി ഗെറ്റിംഗ് നോ ജോബ് ബിക്കോസ് യുവർ പോർട്ട്ഫോളിയോ ഇസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി ബ്ലാക്ക് ആൻഡ് വൈറ്റ്. സോ ബിക്കോസ് ഞാൻ ഡിസൈനറാണ്, ബ്ലാക്ക് ആൻഡ് വൈറ്റ് ഒരു കളറായിട്ട് കാണരുത് ഡിസൈനേഴ്സ് എന്നാണ് പറയാറ്. പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് ബ്ലാക്കും വൈറ്റും ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമുള്ളൊരു കളറാണ്. സോ ട്രൈ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് യുവർ ലവ്, ലൈക്ക് ട്രൈ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് യുവർ തിങ്സ്. എന്താ പറയുക, നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്കിൽ സെറ്റ് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാവും. ലൈക്ക് വർക്കിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പഠിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് ജസ്റ്റ് സ്കിൽ സെറ്റ് മനസ്സിലാവുമ്പോൾ ട്രൈ ടു ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ദാറ്റ് യുവർ പേഴ്സണൽ പോർട്ട്ഫോളിയോ ആൻഡ് ബിൽഡ് ദാറ്റ്. ഇറ്റ് വിൽ മേക്ക് എ റിയലി ബിഗ് ഡിഫറൻസ് വെൻ യു ആർ ഗെറ്റിംഗ് ഇൻ ടു ദ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി. ലൈക്ക് അനിൽ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ യു ഗോൺ ബി ഗെറ്റിംഗ് ലൈക്ക് റിയലി ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് ദ ബോക്സ് ഐഡിയാസ്. റെസ്യൂമിൽ പോലും കണ്ടാൽ പോലും ആൾക്കാർ ഹയർ ചെയ്യും. ദാറ്റ് സംതിങ് റിയലി മാറ്റേഴ്സ് ബിക്കോസ് ഐ എം ഇൻ ദ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ പാനൽ ആൻഡ് ഒരാളുടെ പോർട്ട്ഫോളിയോ മാത്രം നോക്കി ചെയ്യില്ലെങ്കിൽ പോലും അയാൾ ചെയ്തേക്കുന്ന ഡിസൈൻ അപ്രോച്ചാണ് ഞാൻ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ലൈക്ക് ഹൗ ഡിഡ് ഹി അപ്രോച്ച് എ ഡിസൈൻ, ദാറ്റ് വാട്ട് മേക്സ് മീ തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഷുഡ് ഹയർ ഹിം. സോ നിങ്ങൾ പിന്നെ രാവിലെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ റാറ്റ് റൈസ് അല്ലത്, ഇതെല്ലാം ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ ജോബ് ഉണ്ട്. ദർ ആർ മൾട്ടിപ്പിൾ ജോബ്സ്. എ ഡസൻ കിൽസ് എനി ജോബ്. ഐ തിങ്ക് ഇറ്റ് ജസ്റ്റ് മേക്സ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസിയർ. സോ ഡോണ്ട് ട്രൈ ടു ബി ലൈക്ക് ടെൻസ്, ബി ഹാപ്പി ആൻഡ് ട്രൈ ടു ലേൺ സംതിങ് എവറി ഡേ സോ ദാറ്റ് അവസാനം എക്സാമിന് എല്ലാവരും കൂടെ ഒരുമിച്ചിരുന്ന് കുറേ പഠിക്കുന്ന പോലെ പഠിക്കുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥ വരാതിരിക്കാണ്ട് എല്ലാ ദിവസവും കുറേശ്ശെ പഠിക്കുക. ജസ്റ്റ് ബിൽഡ് യുവർ കരിയർ, ജസ്റ്റ് ലേൺ എവറി ഡേ. ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് മേക്സ് എവറി ഡിസൈനർ മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ. ലേൺ ആൻഡ് ട്രൈ ടു അൺലേൺ എവറി ഡേ. നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ച കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം ശരിയാവണമെന്നില്ല, അത് മാറ്റി പുതിയതായിട്ട് പഠിക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് പുതിയ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഇംപ്ലിമെന്റ് ചെയ്യുക. ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് മേക്സ് എ ബെറ്റർ ഡിസൈനർ. ആൻഡ് അതാണ് എനിക്ക് പറയാനുള്ളത്.
So, one thing you have to be very clear that you have to be specialist in one skill, at the same time be a generalist in multiple skill. Okay, so this is irrespective of being a designer or a developer, or if you go to any stream, right? So I'll talk from my perspective. Okay, the growth path at one point of time after my 9th year of the career, I started feeling the stagnation. I felt the saturation. I'm doing the good design, which is, bringing a lot of money to the projects. Even the partners, clients, everyone were happy. But personally, if you see, I was not able to climb up the ladder. Then I thought, like, what was the problem? I reached out to many UX leaders in the industry, my mentors and everyone. Finally, I understood that I am seeing everything as a design, right? But it is much more than that. Did I see the part of sales? Did I see the part of marketing? So if you see either me or Ben or Vijay, on the whole, if you see it again from the 30,000 feet, we are all nothing but the brand communicators, but in a different form. Are you agreeing with me or not? I'm doing UX design. He's into creative and he's into visual design. We are all nothing but brand communicators. On what brand, at what level we are communicating it to the person who is consuming that. So that is what, be a specialist in one thing and a generalist in so many things, and learn anything or any skill on demand whenever it is required. Don't hesitate, learn and execute. That is where you are able to sustain in this industry. And through AI, as he said, right, like the designer jobs won't be killed at all. Many jobs are going to see, whenever a new technology comes in, right, like whoever doesn't scale up, anyhow that job would be went off. But whoever is trying to leverage, it will be creating much more opportunities for us. So try to learn that. And again, one suggestion I would give is that, like, we are all over here to guide you people at any cost. So connect us with LinkedIn or Instagram and see, like, rather than, talking to us, if you observe our post or, whatever we try to communicate online, you are able to understand how the industry is moving on. So this is my kind suggestion in order to look upon how you are going to scale and how to be on track every single time.
Thank you.
I want to add a few more points. So whenever you are attending an interview in any organization, try to be very smarter. Okay, if you are a good communicator, if you are to able to communicate, you create stuff, designs, everything. But when we ask questions, so interviews like that only, right? We ask question, you need to tell us, or we ask, can you explain the concept of this? So you should be very smarter to explain that concept to the interviewer. Then it will be more easy for us to evaluate your skills. You might be a good designer or a good artist by you, but you show everything in portfolio. But if you fail to explain something to the audience or the interviewer, you will not be able to crack it. Okay, so be smarter, always talk, always speak about your portfolios, works, and all. Yeah.
Now we'll have questions from the audience.
Few people are sleeping. Back benches.
Mike.
Hi, I first of all want to thank you all for coming here and sharing the insights. My question is, do you think design practice will split into two parts, like AI assisted designers and traditional craft driven designers?
I don't think that there is not like a division in designers right now, because there are like traditional designers in my firm and there is like AI designers, but we are like everybody is equal. There is not like a different kind of section for that. But I think people who leverage AI are much getting better results. They are ഞാൻ 6 മണിക്ക് എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ജോലി കഴിഞ്ഞ് വീട്ടിൽ പോകും, പക്ഷെ അറിയാതെ ഡൂയിങ് ഇറ്റ് ഇൻ എ ട്രഡീഷണൽ വേ ഓഫ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് പീപ്പിൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ 9 മണി വരെ ഇരിക്കും. സോ ട്രൈ ടു ബി ലൈക്ക് എ മിക്സ്ഡ് ഡിസൈനർ. Don't be traditional, don't be like a designer, keep in between. So traditional, you have to learn the traditional way to know about the basics of color grading, the basis of color, the shadow, the lighting, and how these things could be portraying to the like the society or the public. So ഇതെല്ലാം അറിഞ്ഞാൽ മാത്രം ഒരു ട്രഡീഷണൽ ഡിസൈനർ നല്ലൊരു ആയാൽ മാത്രമാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നല്ലൊരു എ ഡിസൈനർ ആവാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. സോ ട്രൈ ടു ലേൺ ദീസ് ബോത്ത് തിങ്സ് ആൻഡ് ജസ്റ്റ് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ലൈക്ക് എ ഒരു ടൂള് പോലെ ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്താൽ മച്ച് ബെറ്റർ ആയിരിക്കും. അല്ലാതെ ഒരു ഡിവിഷനായിട്ട് ട്രഡീഷണൽ ഡിസൈനേഴ്സും എ ആയിട്ട് കാണണ്ട, രണ്ടും കൂടെ ഒരു കോ വർക്കിംഗ് സ്പേസ് പോലെ രണ്ടാൾക്കാരെ പോലെ ഒരുമിച്ച് പോകുന്ന ആളായിട്ട് കണ്ടാൽ മതി. അതായിരിക്കും എൻ്റെ ഒരു സജഷനാണ്. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പോകുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഐ എം തിങ്കിങ് ട്രഡീഷണൽ ഡിസൈനേഴ്സ് ആർ ലേണിംഗ് എ ഐ. People are really eager to learn every tool which are currently in the market. So try to learn as much as you can and you will be like really great designers, because I just saw really great photos and posters there. Because same like പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ ഞാനും തുടങ്ങിയ കാലത്ത് ഭയങ്കര മെനയില്ലാത്ത കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഡിഫറെന്റ് ലുക്കിലുള്ള പോസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളായിരുന്നു. I didn't know about typography, I didn't know about the hierarchy, but right now when I place a font I know where to place. If I'm using display font, I know where I'm going to be using a sans serif font. So this got me through the traditional way. The traditional designer mindset made me know about these things. So try to mix them with AI, so much better ഒരു result കിട്ടും. So that's what my perspective is.
I think Vijay answered it rightly. So I can say, okay, we have many tools, right? I won't take tools as an example, but for this context, it would be right fitting. So we have many tools, right? So now you tell me, the person who uses Illustrator as a traditional designer, or the person who uses Figma as a traditional designer?
Illustrator?
Definitely, yeah, Illustrator. That is the right answer, right? But if you learn Illustrator, you are not supposed to learn Figma. Are you with me or not?
I'll not agree.
Why? I have never learned Figma in my life. I only know Illustrator. See, the schema is going to be the same. They add some new elements into that. If you understand those new elements, see, you are able to use any tools. That is how. So there is no discrimination of being a traditional designer or a AI assisted designer. If you want to become an AI assistant, amazing or exceptional AI assisted designer, you should understand the traditional design background of it. Otherwise, I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, right? So if somebody goes and asks for a application like food delivery application through an AI application like Figma Make, we are able to identify that is generated by the AI. But the traditional designers, they know how to use the AI to leverage and what kind of design to be coming out. I know a couple of people, you can't even tell their design are generated by the AI. It still looks the design language they follow, because each and every designers are unique, right? Like it is also like a kind of an artist. So every designer will be having their own style. If you are good enough to train your LLM model in such way, nobody can tell whether that is designed by you or the AI. So it's good to know about the traditional part, at least the taste of it. Then only we are able to sustain in this. Otherwise, you will be one among the 10,000s. If you want to, want to say like one among the top 10 and all, you have to know the exact language of traditional.
Even I also echo the same. Be with a mixture of both. Don't take away the traditional style. Even I also recommend maybe scribble it. Even if you are making a page layout, just in my days, we create the thumbnail sketches we call. Thumbnail means just this much size in a paper, maybe in a stamp size or a little bigger than a stamp. So that is a thumbnail sketches we call before creating a entire backgrounds. For example, if my task is to visualize a room like this, okay, my first task is to visualize that in a thumbnail drawing. Thumbnail drawing is just like the size of a thumb. That's the reason we are calling that as thumbnail drawing. So now when we evolving to the AI, so I definitely say that sketch it, then maybe you give that, take it in a photo, take a photo and upload it in a AI tool so that your idea and the AI idea will mix.
Thank you, sir.
Check. Hello. Good afternoon, sirs. All good?
All well.
All good. Okay, so I'd like to ask you all, what do you all do to stand out as designers in the society? What specific thing do you all have, or like, do you all do to stand out as amazing designers that you are today?
See, designers are, amazing. They are always amazing, okay? But the worst thing they do is that they won't market themselves. That is what we are doing. That is why we are here.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Same answer. We always say that we do amazing work. So like we are a creative people, always love to do out of the box stuff, right? So make it like that.
Nice.
For me, it's something like എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ജോലി കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു ഭയങ്കര ഹെക്റ്റിക്കാണ് എനിക്ക്. രാത്രി ഉറങ്ങാന്നുള്ളതാണ് എൻ്റെ ഒരു സംഭവം. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ഉറങ്ങാൻ ഒരു 5 മിനിറ്റ് ഇട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഐ വിൽ സ്ലീപ്പ്, ഐ വിൽ ഡോസ് ഓഫ് എനിവെയർ, ഈവൻ ഹിയർ ഐ വിൽ ഡോസ് ഓഫ്. ബട്ട് അറ്റ് ദ എൻഡ് ഓഫ് ദ ഡേ എനിക്ക് വേണ്ട ഒരു സാധനം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഐ ജസ്റ്റ് വാണ്ട് ബി ബിൽഡിംഗ് എ പേഴ്സണൽ ബ്രാൻഡ് ഫോർ മീ. I just want to be showcasing my love for the work, because I'm not doing this for just only for money. This is something that really wakes me up every day. So think like a design. നിങ്ങൾ ഈ കരിയർ കാണുന്നത് ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് എ റിയലി പാഷൻ തിങ് ആയിട്ട് കണ്ടു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ 1 മണിക്കോ 2 മണിക്കോ നിങ്ങൾ എന്നെ ഫോൺ വിളിച്ചാലും ഞാൻ എണീറ്റിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും. ഐ വിൽ ബി അപ്പ് ഓൾ ദ നൈറ്റ്. ബിക്കോസ് റൈറ്റ് നൗ ടുഡേ രാവിലെ മോർണിംഗിൽ എന്നെ പിക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ വന്ന ആൾ വന്നപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ 4 മണിക്ക് ഉറങ്ങിയേ. അപ്പോൾ പുള്ളി ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ കാറിൽ വന്നപ്പോഴും ഞാൻ സംസാരിച്ചാൽ വന്നത്. ഇഫ് യു ആർ ടോക്കിംഗ് സംതിങ് അബൌട്ട് ഡിസൈൻ, I'll be really happy. So try to showcase that so that everybody is like really learning from you. I'm a beginner, I will be saying something to the society or the designers, because I just want to be making people learn something from me, and I want to be learning something from you guys also, because you are learning something more, which something that I had not learned right now. So be like give and take and showcase your works and do some relevant kind of out of the box things. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് ആണെങ്കിലും ഓൾറെഡി ദർ ആർ മെനി കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ് ഇൻ ദ സൊസൈറ്റി, ദർ ആർ മെനി കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ് വിച്ച് ആർ ഓൾറെഡി ബീൻ ഡൺ. ബട്ട് ആ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ പെനിയുടെ ആഡ് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, ചിക്കിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ആഡ് കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. ആര് കണ്ടാലും കാല് പിടിച്ചു പോകും എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു ആഡ് ഉണ്ട് ചിക്കിങ്ങിൻ്റെ. അത് ഭയങ്കര രസമാണ് ആഡ്. അതിനകത്തൊന്നുമില്ല. നിങ്ങളിവിടെ വിഷ്വൽ ഡിസൈൻസ് പഠിക്കുന്നവരാണ്. യു ക്യാൻ ലൈക്ക് ഡൂ ദാറ്റ് സെയിം പോസ്റ്റർ in your own style and put it up to social media. So you will also get a traction for that. It's free marketing, free moment marketing for that. So try to find your own market in the social media. Every time ഒരു ഡിസൈൻ കാണുമ്പോൾ think your perspective. ഇവിടെ അല്ല അതിൻ്റെ എൻഡ്. ആ ഒരു ഡിസൈൻ അല്ല അതിൻ്റെ എൻഡ് ഓഫ് ദ ഫൈനൽ ഔട്ട്. അതിന് മുന്നേ കുറേ ഇറ്ററേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇറ്ററേഷൻസ് നിങ്ങൾ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ കാണിച്ചാൽ you can brand yourself and try to pick some like base kind of brand colors and try to follow that same palette. Like you are a Nike or Puma brand. ആ ബ്രാൻഡാന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്താൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ ബ്രാൻഡിങ്ങും അടിപൊളിയായിരിക്കും. അല്ലാതെ there is not like a secret sauce or not like a mantra or anything. We all just showcase our works. That's it. എനിക്കൊരു പോർട്ട്ഫോളിയോ ഇല്ല കേട്ടോ. I don't have a portfolio to show you guys, because my social media is my portfolio. I don't have a proper Behance. I have like LinkedIn post every day for 1 year. So I have 365 posts. So that is my portfolio. That's what I am showcasing. So that's how the whole thing is like marketing. So അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തു നോക്കുക, അടിപൊളിയാവും. അവൻ്റെയാണ്.
Thank you so much, sir. I have one more follow-up question, if you will.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how does one find their niche? Like, how does one find their exact thing that they want to, market themselves as? How does one, find their perfect niche? Is there any way that how you found your niche?
Okay. What I found my niche was the initial stage was really bad. I thought that I will become like a really big mentor kind of a. I will be like Elon Musk and kind of thought process. But in the gradual journey, I found my niche. You can see my social media profile. You can scroll it down like it had been Instagram. There are 180 posts right now. It's mostly LinkedIn. So when you go to Instagram, just scroll down. And the starting time, I was saying about what is the size of Instagram post. That is something that the first post of mine. There was no niche for me. I was copying somebody. But at the copying style, ഞാൻ മറ്റുള്ളവരുടെ content copy ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. The structure that they followed, they got viral. But after some time, I found my niche that I know some designs much better than some people. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ ചില skills ഉണ്ട്. Like I know a bit about digital art and I do digital art really pretty well. So I really like digital art. പിന്നെ AI വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ I like real kind of images. I make every image really realistic that people thinks and confused at and asks me, ചേട്ടൻ ഈ പടം എവിടെ നിന്നാണ് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്ത് എനിക്കും കിട്ടുമോ ഇതിൻ്റെ ലിങ്ക് എന്ന് ചോദിക്കും ചിലർ. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത് ആരാ ചേട്ടൻ്റെ ഫോട്ടോയാണോ? ഇപ്പോൾ there is a photo of me here on this board. That is not me, that's AI generated. So എൻ്റെ പടം പോലും ഞാൻ ചെയ്യാറില്ല. സോ എനിക്ക് റിയലിസ്റ്റിക് പടങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര താല്പര്യമാണ്. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ നീഷ്. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത്. അപ്പോൾ ഭയങ്കര ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമാണ്. എൻ്റെ ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി എന്നും ബിൽഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സോ ട്രൈ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ദ ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി ഇൻ വിച്ച് യു ആർ ഡൂയിങ് യുവർ വർക്ക്. ക്യൂരിയോസിറ്റി കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നിങ്ങളുടെ നീഷ് കിട്ടും. എനിക്ക് ക്യൂരിയോസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളത് ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ടോപ്പിക്സാണ്. എനിക്ക് വൈറലാവുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വെൻ പീപ്പിൾ ആർ റിയലി എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു സാധനം പറയാൻ മടിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം എനിക്ക് പറയണം, ഡിസൈനിലൂടെ പറയണം എന്നുള്ളതാണ് എൻ്റെ കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ടോൺ. അതാണ് ഞാൻ ഭയങ്കര റൂഡാന്ന് പറയുന്നവരുണ്ട് കുറേ പേര്. അപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഡിസൈൻസ് ഭയങ്കര റൂഡാ. മൈ ഡിസൈൻസ് ആർ ലുക്കിംഗ് റിയലി റൂഡ് ബിക്കോസ് ലാസ്റ്റ് ഡിസൈൻ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാൻ പറ്റും. ഇറ്റ്സ് റിയലി ലൈക്ക് എ റഫ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് ഡിസൈൻ, ബട്ട് ഇറ്റ്സ് റിയലി മേക്കിംഗ് പീപ്പിൾ തിങ്ക്, മേക്കിംഗ് പീപ്പിൾ ടു നോട്ടീസ് യുവർ ഡിസൈൻ. ബിക്കോസ് നോർമൽ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്താൽ നെവർ ഗോണ ബി പീപ്പിൾ നോട്ടീസിങ് യുവർ ഡിസൈൻ. അപ്പോൾ മേക്ക് യുവർ ഡിസൈൻ സംതിങ് വിച്ച് ആർ നോട്ട് സീൻ ഓൺ ദ സൊസൈറ്റി. ലൈക്ക് ആൾക്കാരുടെ തോട്ട് പിടിച്ചിരുത്താൻ പറ്റുക. ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഒരു ഇമേജ് നിങ്ങളുടെ പോസ്റ്റർ കണ്ടു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ചിക്കിങ്ങിന്റെ പോസ്റ്റർ കാണുമ്പോൾ വിശപ്പ് തോന്നുന്ന പോലെ ട്രൈ ടു മേക്ക് പീപ്പിൾ ലൈക്ക് ഫീൽ ഫ്രം യുവർ പോസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ഓ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ സാധനങ്ങൾ അതെല്ലാം തോന്നുക. ഇതാണ് എൻ്റെ നീഷ്. ആൾക്കാർ എൻ്റെ പോസ്റ്റർ കണ്ട, എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റർ കണ്ട, ഇപ്പോൾ പൊറോട്ടയും ബീഫും കഴിക്കുന്ന ഒരു പോസ്റ്റർ കണ്ട അയാളത് കഴിക്കണം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ഊണ് കഴിക്കുകയാണ് ഒരാളെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് കഴിച്ചു എന്ന് അയാൾക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യണം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ ആ സ്മെല്ല് മൂക്കി കിട്ടണം. അതാണ് എൻ്റെ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ്. സോ എവറി ഡിസൈൻ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ഡു ഈസ് സെൻസറി. എവറി ഡിസൈൻ ദാറ്റ് ഷുഡ് കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് സംതിങ്. ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഇമേജ് മാത്രമല്ലാതെ അതൊരു ഐഡിയ കൺവേ ആവണം. ദാറ്റ്സ് ഹൗ ഐ ഡു കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്സ്. സോ ദിസ് തിങ് ക്യാൻ ബി ഫോളോഡ് ബൈ എനിബഡി. ഐ തിങ്ക് ഇറ്റ് ക്യാൻ മേക്ക് വണ്ടേഴ്സ്. സോ ട്രൈ ടു ഫൈൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് നീഷ്. വലിയ പാടൊന്നുമില്ല, നമ്മൾ ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കിയാൽ മതി. എൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ നീഷ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എൻ്റെ വീടിൻ്റെ അടുത്തുള്ള ചേട്ടന്മാരും ചേച്ചിമാരും എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സും ഒക്കെ എൻ്റെ നീഷ്. എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ട്, പുള്ളിക്കാരിയാണ് നീഷായിട്ടൊക്കെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് വരുന്ന കഥാപാത്രം. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ കാര്യം എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പുള്ളിക്കാരിയുടെ ചില മാനറിസംസ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ വീടിനടുത്തുള്ള എൻ്റെ അപ്പൂപ്പൻ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കുറേ ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്, ഓൾഡ് ഏജ് പീപ്പിൾസ് എല്ലാം ഉണ്ട്. ഇവരെ കണ്ടപ്പോൾ ഇവരുടെ കണ്ണുകളൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും എൻ്റെ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിൽ വരുന്ന അന്നത്തെ ഇമേജ്. ഇതാണ് എൻ്റെ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ്. ഞാൻ റിയൽ ലൈഫിൽ നിന്നാണ് എൻ്റെ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. സോ ട്രൈ ടു ഗോ ഔട്ട് ഇൻ ദ വേൾഡ്. യു വിൽ ഫൈൻഡ് യുവർ നീഷ് എവറി ഡേ.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It was a question for all three of you, though. If you both would like to answer, please.
Yeah, like when you ask niche, right? So first, let's see it in the general way, okay? So people are taking a straight route to reach from point A to point B. One guy is flying and reaching to point B. So that is what is all about the niche, right? So when the society or any designers are going on one way, if you take the other way, then people will automatically follow you because you are doing something different. This is one thing. The other thing is a little personal. Like when it comes to my career, I told you, right? Like I had a saturation and stagnation when I was into my 9th year. Then I spoke to my mentors. They routed me like why can't you switch and talk more about the business sense which actually works on UX. So that's where my design has been scaled into a different level. So eventually talking, okay, once I started implementing it, I started seeing some success out of it, right? So when there is a success, a lot of people like me have literally stuck in such way. So once I started posting about how to see UX design or a product design as a revenue model, okay, automatically you are creating a niche within your domain. Because if you see, when it comes to the UX design, people talk about the UX, but what and all you see on their social media platforms are nothing but UI. People are doing, talking about UI. They are just posting screens. Even I am just posting some screens, but that started having content. Like how can't you make 9% revenue model in what like B2B segment into a 25%? You have to follow this. People from the B2B automatically come and see. Once they started seeing the result, they will be automatically started following you. So whatever you say must be having responsibility on the society, so that you can slowly. Okay, it is a gradual, improvement on creating trust among the society. So that is where you are able to climb up on your niche.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, mine was when I want to tell how I came to this industry is before 26 years back when I was in college. I used to play games, the PC games, computer games. I don't know how many of you know Road Rash, Max Payne, Project IGI, Call of Duty, DVF. So I was literally എന്താ പറയുക ഒരു ഗെയിം പ്രാന്തൻ എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. So I used to play till morning 2 a.m., 3 a.m. PC games. So after playing all those things, and I was continuing my graduation, BCA. So while I studying BCA, I understand that I am good for nothing for this course because my left brain will not work because there is a logical thinking, right? So then I want to do something more creative thing. So that's where then I thought of thinking how this game is developing. Okay, how this, I mean the 3D models or the assets or the implementations, gameplay, how it happens. Then within the limited scope, that time we don't have Google. So within Yahoo Messenger, Yahoo and Rediff was there. So we get very limited information. Within the limited information, I search for something. How can we become a game designer or how can enter in a game production? But after maybe 10 years from my graduation, I started building games.
Thank you so much, sir. That was lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for the inputs.
I think time is up, right?
Almost. So unanimously, the points or takeaways like how you can be original in your ways, how you should find your way, your uniqueness, and how you should specialize parallel to acquiring more skills. So I hope all of these were very helpful to all the students planning to enter the creative domains. We'll wind up the session now.
These all are third year students or third
We
year?
have first year, second year and third year students.
Okay. Good to see you all. And thank you, Lakshmi ma'am, for inviting us here. And one of my cousin is here, Tania. So thank you, Tania, as well. She is the one who was initially, I was in connect with her to understand what is all about and all. And thank you, Tania, as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me over here. So it's been I think 1 to 1.5 months of follow-up. So luckily I got this slot today and being here and it is being like you people are being an amazing crowd. Like from the morning I met Titus. Like people are so humble and lovely over here. Thank you for the exactly how to say. I don't know, getting a little emotional. Yeah, thanks for the warm acceptance.
I also want to say thank you to everybody. I thank you to the Lakshmi ma'am. Just called me through LinkedIn and people are looking up to me. And really thanking you all the students who just രാവിലെ വീട്ടിൽ വന്ന് വിളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് വന്ന ആളാണെങ്കിലും I'm really happy that he did that and I made him wait for like 5 or 10 minutes. ഞാൻ ഇച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായില്ല. And he was like really calm and so I'm really happy that I got this opportunity here and I'm really like wonder how you guys are like really നമ്മളെങ്ങനെ നോക്കുന്നതെന്ന് ഭയങ്കര വണ്ടർ ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്. Like നിങ്ങൾ തരുന്ന hospitality is like really so much awesome that I do most workshop with agencies and this kind of like ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക ഒരു welcoming kind of face I never saw in any place. So I think you guys are really awesome, the hospitality. So thank you so much for that. Thank you Lakshmi ma'am and thank you all the students. for the support and for hearing me this much longer. ഉച്ചകഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഉറക്കം വന്നിട്ടും ഇത് കേട്ടിരുന്നതിന് നന്ദി. Thank you so much.
Now, I welcome Professor Sri Sanju R. Nair, Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Media and Communication, to please hand over the mementos to our guest of honor. First, Sri Vijay Raj N. Sri Ben Thomas. Finally, Sri Udaykumar. Thank you, dignitaries, for the wonderful session.